Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm kind of half done at the moment because I'm looking at some products that you hate, don't like, don't want anything to do with them. And one thing I always like to see with these is like, why don't you like them? What's the deal? So I have some products here. Some of them I actually already own. I'm actually surprised at some of these that came up. So we're gonna start with eyes first, and there was no eyeshadows really and no lashes. So let's get into that. Just before we do, consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and please leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment, just comment algorithm, it helps. Let's look at our first product. I'm really sorry, I have mascara all over my fingers. Also, I'm a bit annoyed because I just filmed a whole video and I forgot to press record. So I'm sitting here talking to the camera like this, not actually recording anything. About 45 minutes. Our first product, these are the Chrome Flakes from Denesamerics. These are really beautiful. I've used these a few times, but these came up quite often, and especially because I actually posted a picture of me wearing the blue ones, right? These were coming up more not out of hate, but out of confusion. How do you use them? People were saying they kept creasing on them, they kept going patchy, and I get it, I totally get it. So for anyone who's unfamiliar, they're basically like these flakes of chrome. Almost like gold leaf texture within a liquidy gel formula that you put onto your eyes or put wherever. Sorry, this lash is gonna give me grief until the glue dries completely. But they are a beautiful product. So it's to help you out, to help you not hate them anymore. I'm gonna show you how to apply them today. That's why I've like half done my eyes. Product I purchased myself. I actually think I got a few different ones and I very rarely use them. Oh my God, this eyelash, please, dear God, stop. So the key to applying these is to have a fan handy and a flat synthetic brush. This is like a concealer brush. This is the MUA Academy brush, like a flat, I'll put up on the screen here, flat concealer brush. And what we don't want to do is rub or anything like that. This is the same, a good technique if you're using like any glitter that's in like a gel form or anything like that. We're gonna think ahead what shape we're gonna do, and I'm literally gonna pat the product onto the lid. I'm using a brush with like a slight rounded top because I can use that rounded shape to create the curve of my eyelid. So I'm gonna start from the front here and tap. And I'm just gonna take it really slow, really gentle. Just like this. I'm gonna stop about here. Now, this is a thing, I'm gonna fan it dry. Is it great that you have to fan a product dry to have it not like smudge? Am I in focus? Smudge or anything like that on the lid? Not really, but I mean, is it gonna take anything out of my life just to sit here for 2 minutes and let that dry? No. If you start to drag and rub, especially if you have an eyeshadow underneath, the kind of like fluidy stuff within this formula might break down the product a bit. Ooh, that's very strong. I hate zooming in because my camera just gets really dark. Okay, so I've loaded my flat brush. I'm gonna start tapping onto the lid, staying within the eyelid space, using the curve of that brush. And I'm making sure I've loaded my brush with quite a lot of the product. And then I'm just like tapping over here, just because you can't really blend the flakes because it's not like, you know, blendable. So we kind of want it to fade out. I really like them, and as long as they're not smudging across your lid, then I think it's all good. I wish you could see me in real life. The camera doesn't really do it justice, but it has the most beautiful shift in color. Like you can see it's all kind of like, maybe if I block out the light, can you see it a bit better? Not really. Oh, I shouldn't open my eye. This fan is so strong, it makes me gag sometimes. And you could maybe go in and do another layer. I would maybe advise against it. I get as much as you want on before you do. Get as much on before you dry it, because I feel like another layer might then start to separate everything. Okay, let's stay this close. Please excuse my horrible spot on my lip there that I've been picking. Okay, we're gonna try, let me take out its wrapper. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 32-Hour Fresh Wear. Now, when people started to tell me that there was a foundation they didn't like, that was from L'Oreal, I assumed it was the powder one, but it was actually this one. I don't think I've tried this, correct me if I'm wrong. If I did try it, it hasn't really left a lasting memory on me. So this is the shade, I went out and actually physically got this. Did I? This is the shade 200 Natural Linen, which might actually be a little bit too yellow for me, but you know what? I'll use it anyway. I think drugstores, right, are doing some really good foundations recently. It's very rarely I use one, but I absolutely despise Sorry, I'm looking for a brush that's clean. And I think L'Oreal have done a really good job recently with their products. That powder was horrible though. So this is, let me read a bit about it. So it's meant to be up to 32-hour long wear with vitamin C, no fading, no shifting, and it's a full coverage. Well, first impressions are good. It's sitting quite well on my skin. Usually in this area here, I get like a lot of texture, but this is sitting really nicely in my problem areas. And I'm just kind of pushing this onto the skin. This is the Rare Beauty foundation brush. It's a really nice brush for foundation, but also like any cream products, like cream bronzer, cream blush. This is horrendously yellow on me. So maybe I'll just do a little bit. Oh, actually, no, we have a product we can sort that out with. But I mean, it looks absolutely fine. God, I'm tired. It looks absolutely fine. Maybe a little bit dry, actually, around this area here. Actually, bit of a situation going on here. I don't know if you can see. Maybe not. Maybe you're right there. Let's give it a little bit. See how it goes, and let's use this product. I couldn't believe this came out because I absolutely love this product. This is the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. I really, really like this product. This is quite unique in the terms that it's not really concealer, right? And I think that's where a lot of people kind of got a little bit confused. It's kind of to go either just under your eyes when you're not wearing makeup to add a little bit of brightness, a little bit of light, but without, you know, having to use layers and layers of concealer that can sometimes start to look a little bit cakey and a little bit heavy. This just adds a touch of brightness, a touch of light to those areas. And I think it's really beautiful. I did see some people saying that it was creasing on them. It didn't sit well on top of their foundation, on top of their concealer, but I really like it because I find it serum-like. And it really, really sits beautifully on top of other products. This just by itself, I mean, I'm using quite a light color here, but this just by itself is such a beautiful, beautiful, like it just fixes, you see what I mean? Like it hasn't added necessarily color, it's added a brightness to that area. Like imagine this in small amounts under the eye when you're not wearing makeup and you just want to look a little bit fresher faced. It looks natural and it doesn't look like I've piled on layers and layers of concealer. This one I don't understand. I can understand how maybe you don't get on with the flakes, right? And foundations are kind of personal preference because not one foundation is good for every single person, except maybe the House Labs foundation because that's really good. But even still, people don't like that one. But this one, I just think it's so simple to use. It's so easy. It's like, what's the word? You can't really go wrong with it. So I was a little bit surprised when people mentioned this one. I'm just gonna do a little bit of contour and blush before we move on to our next product. I'm gonna go in with one of the cream blushes from Atejor Beauty. These are absolutely stunning. I'm actually gonna go for, oh no, let's do the plummy color. This is called Love Plum Plum. And they are just the most stunning cream blushes ever. So I'm gonna use that and then we'll go on to our next product. And yes, I'm using cream on top of powder. Sometimes it just works, you know? I don't do New Year's resolutions, right? But I think I want to start bringing my blush further down. That's my new resolution, 2024. I'm going to wear my blush further in. Okay, our next and last product actually is one of the Milk highlighters. Whenever I talk about Milk products, right? No one seems to like them. I love Milk products. I think they are so nice. Their bronzer, their I think they did a liquid bronzer once that I really didn't like, but the stick ones I think are really, really stunning. I think they're really beautiful. Their mattifying setting spray is incredible and their matte primer is beautiful as well. But the highlighter came up quite often. People are saying it's kind of greasy on them, which I can see. But I feel like it's not one of those products you should go on with, which a stick suggests you can just like brush it on your face. I prefer to use fingertips with these, just so you can kind of get an idea of how much you're applying, and then just tap it onto particular areas. Don't cover a whole area in it, because then it will get like a little bit greasy looking and a little bit shiny looking, whereas you want it to just glow, like have this very subtle glow to it. And I'm keeping it just here and here because I know I don't get like oily in this area here. I don't get oily here. If you're kind of finding it's a bit too oily, a bit too shiny, just don't do your nose. Just do the cheeks, under the eyes a little bit, maybe top of the lip, and be done with it. But from reading the description of a Milk highlighters, they do have skincare ingredients in them, and there's actually some oils in them as well. So they might lean on the oilier side. So I'm gonna come back to you with an update on this foundation. I'm about to film 2 more videos with this look on. So yes. I should change it up, but part of me just can't be bothered today. It's late and I've had that whole incident. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that and then I'll come back with an update for you on this foundation and we'll wrap up this video. Okay, it has been about an hour, on the wrong camera. It's been about an hour and a half. I'm looking quite shiny at the moment. To be honest with you, if anything, the foundation looks better than it did when I initially applied it. All the texture that was here is gone now. My natural oils are kind of involved. It does look a bit shiny, but it's not overly greasy. Bear in mind, I have quite a lot of lights on me and it's quite an intense light situation. It doesn't, I mean, I don't think my nose looks overly greasy. It looks glowy, but it doesn't look like, oh my God, that's pure grease. I actually think it's done quite well. And I think some of the claims are true. I can do a longer wear test off this foundation if you want me to. I did see some people saying it was quite dry on them. It is a matte foundation, so maybe you do have to over prep your skin a little bit if you are finding it's quite dry, but I quite like it, you know. I think it's quite a nice foundation. I desperately want to mattify my face though. Okay, well, do let me know down below in the description box what you think of all these products. Is there a product you have tried recently that you just really didn't like? Let me know as well. Consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.